Good Monday morning. It's a Monday here in Michigan, and it's chilly, so hence the sweater. Good morning to you, and welcome to Pressure Free Living. If you're unfamiliar with my work, you can go to my website to check it out. It's lingalls.com. You can see my name down in the corner here and how to spell it. Or you can just go to pressure-free.com. That should take you to the same place. I actually have a calendar right on my website now. So if you hit that book a call button, it goes right to my calendars. If you ever want to have a conversation about having me work with you, work with someone that you care about, or bring me in to do any kind of a team workshop or speaking engagement, I am here for you. So let's see. Yesterday, if you caught my show yesterday, I was talking about emotions or things we experience that put us right on the edge of possibly triggering the stress response. Also, those can be things that we exhibit when we do trigger the stress response. And I also talked about how if other people are experiencing these emotions, um, that it's very easy for us to trigger the stress response as well. And I want to dig into that for a moment today and talk about how to protect yourself. When I think about emotions and our growth as people, as individuals, I reflected back to a time when I was coaching a 17-year-old. And in one of our sessions, she said to me, Mrs. Ingalls, you're just teaching people how to be grown up, but grown-ups don't know how to do that. It was fascinating to me. And so as I think about that in our emotional states, it's like, what does it mean to mature, to be mature and handle our emotional states? Like, what does that mean? Um, that's for you to answer. I think everybody would have a different answer if you talked about it, but I think there would be some similarities. And so the one I want to reflect on today is when other people are experiencing emotions, what's happening to you? Are you entering into the same emotion? Are you pushing away from the situation? Are you able to sustain yourself in the situation but not go into the same emotion? Let's take complaining. So when someone starts complaining about something, do you feel a heightened emotion within yourself when they start going on and on about it? Do you want them to just stop? Do you like what's going on in you? Are you annoyed by it? Or do you feel the same thing and start complaining as well? And so when you're entering into that energy, chances are you're probably going to trigger a massive release of stress hormones. I didn't even realize that that's what was going on for me until 2010. Like little tiny conversations and situations where I'd feel myself get hot. I have some hot topics. My family likes to joke about them with me. One of them is using precious land for something these days that might not even transpire the way we think it's going to. Like that's a hot button for me. I want I want I think 7 generations into the future. And what I care about is clean air, clean water, and a beautiful place to live. Like that's what matters to a human more than any kind of technology, including the one I'm using right now. Like the basics, the basics. So that's a hot button for me. So I have to watch myself. Like my shoulders will go up, my face will get tight. Like what are the things that happen to you? Some people feel it right in their gut. Like their stomach will tense up. It almost feels like there's a ball of lead in there. Or they have to go to the bathroom. You have to go to the bathroom right away. Or you start tensing your jaw and grinding your teeth. I was coaching a client once and I paused them because you could actually see the jaw tension. Um, and so those are clues. Those are clues that this particular emotion is happening to you. So what emotions are we on the lookout for? Complaining. So these are the ones I listed yesterday. Complaining, or let's start with worrying, because worrying is a really big one. If someone starts worrying, that's very contagious energy. Stress is contagious. Not only does misery uh, love company, it demands it, and then stress is contagious. So if someone starts worrying, it's very easy to enter into that. So let's list them out and then I'll give you some tools you can use right away, which I didn't do yesterday. I'm going to give you some real tools. So compl worrying, complaining, blaming and shaming, meddling, anytime we're getting into real judgy attitude, comparing ourselves to others and struggling. Now let's take those and also layer in the A emotions. So anytime you feel annoyed or angry, anxious or afraid, ashamed, and anytime your environment's shaking you up, I call that abuse. Could be verbal abuse, physical abuse, it could be sound, smells, the way cloth feels on your skin if you're sensitive, anything that is affecting your nervous system. So let's get to some tools because if you or someone else is starting to move into any of those emotions, there's a really high chance you're going to trigger too. And so, how can we protect ourselves? The first place I go, as if you've heard me talk about this, is your abs. But let's go a little deeper on the abs today. So, if you put your hands on your belly and just relax your belly, it's interesting what happens. I'm going to tighten my belly and I want you to look at my throat here. Tight, relax. Did you see that difference? When our belly tightens, the whole front of our body tightens, even our face. If you get a lot of lines here, your belly's probably really tight. So when you relax your belly, all of this opens. Some people experience stress-induced asthma. It's because the throat tightens. That's because these muscles have to protect our throat. If you ever take a self-defense class, you'll learn why. Like this is a very delicate and area, and there's not much protection here. So your abs are key. Relax your abs. Now take your hand and run it down over your belly to where it tucks back in a little bit. And then I want you to relax that spot. Like I was holding some tension there, and you probably were too. Those lower, way lower abs are protecting our most precious organs. We don't have ribs down there. Our ribs are up in here. And so our ab muscles act as rib protectors if we were truly under attack. Okay, so such a simple hack, but when you relax that part of your body, your whole nervous system is cluing in your brain that there's no reason to go into fight or flight. So that's why it's one of my number one tools to teach people. Now I have some people who have a real hard time even just relaxing their abs. They've had personal trainers have them clench them all day long. But if you look at any other animal, just look around, watch, especially like an old dog, when they walk, their belly's like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The only time animals tense their ab muscles is when they're afraid. Okay. And how do they engage their or tone the whole front of their body? They actually stretch back. Watch a dog. Watch a dog wake up and it goes, oh, cats do it too. Cats do this kind of opening and closing thing, but they're not doing crunches and sit-ups. Like we're the only ones that do that. So see if you can get those abs more beautiful and relaxed. And then if you lift your ribs up, that's the next tool. Ribs up. That's a slogan that I have built. Thanks to my body coach, Leela Veronica. If you've never had a session with her, especially if you're an athlete or a speaker or anybody that uses their body, a performer, she's pure gold. And so I developed a slogan from her. I call it ribs up. Ribs up away from the hips. Like if I'm just sitting here, look at the difference on the screen, how many inches there are, or how much space there is above my head to the top of my Zoom screen here. Okay, I'm going to lift up my ribs. That's all I did. All I did was lift my ribs. So lift your ribs up. And now the next thing I'm going to share is to really ground you because when someone is going through emotions, if there can be someone in the room who is really grounded and soft in the front, now that person will feel like they're connected. There's a connection. There's someone who's listening. There's someone who's caring because our heart is open. And so that is to grab your butt, pull the muscles back, and sit on your leg bones, on your hamstrings. Sit on your leg bones, okay? Your hamstrings, those big muscles back of your thighs. And so your butt muscles are now rising up your spine a little bit. And and when they're in that position, it's like you have your own back. You're supporting yourself. It could feel you might get a little head rush because you just opened up. If you have any back issues, this is huge. You just provided your spine with support. When you sit on your butt, it's like your tail is tucked. When your tail's tucked, like a dog's tail, what are they? They are afraid. So when you get your butt back, those butt muscles back. And now if you had a tail, it can wag behind you. I love to tell my clients, I want you to be happy puppies. Like your tail can wag. But almost more importantly, like so that's the emotion you can now feel in your head, but also you're going to feel this strength because you've just really set a strong platform for yourself rather than being sitting on your butt muscles. I've just found it to be so, so powerful. And then if you get in this position and your ribs are up and your chest can now open, your heart is open, again, that creates that connection. So if the other person is having a big worry, how can you frame your body to be supportive for them without even saying a word? That's, I can't tell you how powerful that is, but you can use the same thing if you're going into a sales call. You can use the same framing if you're stepping out on a stage, right? What do a lot of people try to do when they step out on the stage? They try to force their energy out there. But if you actually open yourself and bring the audience to you, it's a totally different experience. And it's pretty rare that I see people like get on their phones when I'm hosting a workshop or speaking from a stage. And it's because I'm not trying to force out, I'm actually like allowing them to come to me. So that's just a framing I wanted to share today, a body positioning, a body framing that can just keep you solid, keep you like the rock when all of those different emotions are swirling around, including in yourself. And so when you can use your body to help you get out of your mind, it's very, very helpful. So some of the tools in Pressure Free are using the body, some of them are using the mind, and some of them are what I call life design tools. I don't know which tools are going to work for you. That's why I share a few when I'm giving these talks here, these free talks for you. Um, but when you actually go into my full course, we can find the tools that work for your situations. And they might not be like I stopped prejudging a long time ago. I used to kind of think, oh, this tool will be great for this person. I really don't. How could I even begin to know you? I ask a lot of questions to learn about you, but how could I even begin to know you just from that? Like we have to work side by side together for a while to figure out, oh yeah, this is what's working. This is what's turning the wheel. This is what's helping me. So have some fun, ribs up. Even if that's all you take away from this talk today is elevating your ribs away from your hips. That will give you something that's new and different that you probably haven't done before. So I wish you a gorgeous pressure-free day.